Donald Trump has foisted on the American public his worst nominee yet. This guy is worse than Ben Carson, worse than Rick Perry, worse than Jeff Sessions, and even worse than Betsy DeVos. Donald Trump has nominated Jeff Mateer to be a federal district court judge. That's a lifetime appointment. Mateer has said that the separation of state and church is a myth because those words don't appear verbatim in the Constitution. Some other rights that we have also don't appear verbatim in the Constitution, for instance, fair trial. And perhaps Mateer won't uphold those rights along with the separation of state and church. If given the chance, Mateer would overturn key court decisions, or at least ignore them, including Roe v. Wade, which protects the woman's right to choose, Lawrence v. Texas, which protects the rights of LGBTQ people to have loving relationships without being charged as criminals, and Obergefell, the case that upheld gay marriage. Mateer works for the Texas Attorney General, but he's only worked there for about a year and a half, and before that, he worked for a group called First Liberty Institute. This is sort of the anti-FFRF. They are working to redefine religious freedom so that it becomes religious privilege, and it allows Christians to impose their religion on everybody else. And then he went over to the Texas Attorney General's office and continued to promote First Liberty's agenda, using that public office, and we think he'll do the same thing as a federal judge. Mateer often gives bad legal advice, including advice explicitly against legal precedent to his clients. When FFRF and the ACLU told a school in Jackson, Ohio, that they couldn't display a portrait of Jesus, Mateer and First Liberty came in and said, "You guys should keep it up for a little while we look into this." But there was nothing to look into. The courts had already ruled that that exact portrait could not be displayed in a public school. And Mateer and First Liberty's bad legal advice ended up costing that school district almost $100,000 fighting a clearly losing legal battle. While at First Liberty, Mateer produced a report called Undeniable, which was full of fear-mongering and basically lies. For instance, in one report they claimed that there were over 1,200 attacks on Christians in America, but a simple counting showed that there were only 980 in that report. And some of the things they called attacks were very questionable. For instance, one of the attacks was a Supreme Court case that unanimously upheld a religious organization's right to only hire people of that religion. In 2015, Mateer spoke at a rally that came to be known as the Kill the Gays rally. Mateer and the Institute have frequently defended religious bigots who are trying to foist their religion on others, including a baker who wouldn't provide a gay couple with a wedding cake, and a county clerk who refused to issue marriage licenses right after Obergefell, the gay marriage decision. Mateer views the mere existence of LGBTQ people as an attack on his religious liberty, and even a conspiracy.
They speak of it as same-sex marriage, but it's so much more than that. It's really a right to engage in homosexual conduct and to be protected in that.
Mateer views LGBTQ Americans with disgust.
I mean, it's disgusting.
And says that they live lives of debauchery.
We're back to that time where debauchery rules.
Mateer has also pointed out that LGBTQ people are part of Satan's plan.
I mean, it just shows you how Satan's plan is working and the destruction that's going on.
Mateer thinks that protecting civil rights is an attack on religious faith. Simply put, Jeff Mateer is a bigot, and a zealot, and a bad attorney, and he's been nominated for a lifetime appointment on the federal bench. All thinking Americans, anybody who cares about equality and justice needs to call their senator and oppose Jeff Mateer right now.